What's going on? Oh shit, sorry, it's kind of messy. Messy.
Okay, my friend, we appreciate you being here with us, allowing us to be here with you, actually, in the garage, home space. This is the sanctity. This is the collection. This is, hey, since I was last here, my guy, you've added crazy to the collection. So you guys, we're gonna get into the obvious, but there is all kinds of fire in here right now. So before we go too deep with the wheels added to the collection, the tires added to the collection, merch, collectibles, we'll get into that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Let's go with the one we have right here. Right. So up here, everyone who's watching this is like, bro, we already know. But everyone else, let's break it down. So we have right here my brother Al-Michael, the other half of NAMSAYIN. Mm-hmm. So we had Walt on the Think Bigger podcast, and a lot of people kind of, you're more quiet. He's like kind of just a little bit more out there. Mm. But I mean, like I said, everyone up here knows. Yeah. But for everyone else, we have the other half of NAMSAYIN, and really like the hardcore collector, because you have, bruh, you've got some heat in here. Yes, you do. So, my guy, let's talk about the two vehicles that we have in front of us, starting with that one, right? So break it down for us, for the people who don't know.
All right. So this very car here was my high school car. I tamed it from Fife of Acura of Fife, which is down south in Tacoma.
Yeah.
And we purchased it used in '97, so this is a '96. So it had a little bit over 20,000 miles on it, so it was considered high, and I supposedly paid high for it. But I loved it. I was just trying to decide between a GSX Eclipse or this, so I ended up with the GSR instead. And kind of took it along, and I had some cousins from the Bay. He had his own Civic. He had a '95 Civic EJ1, I believe that's
a coupe.
Coupe, yeah.
Yeah.
And he would go by the neighborhood or my parents' house, and we'd see him and be like, "Oh, damn, that's dope." So it was all white, painted all white, and had LS webs and.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so that kind of prompted me to get this car, because it was like, oh, it's like a Honda.
So that's what it was. It was your older cousin with a coupe that made you want to get into Hondas.
Yeah.
And then you ended up getting an Integra.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But my family's been with imports since day one. Like my pops rallied in the Philippines, and it takes like, I don't know how many hours, 16 hours, and then they would do it in 8. Like smashing through the barrios and Barong.
Yeah. So what was your pops rally driving in the Philippines? What vehicles?
It was a '77 Lancer. So it was like the precursor to the Evos that we have now. So it was the 2-door version. People know the GSR Lancer as the 4-door one, as the Evo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he had the 2-door version.
So the love of cars is in your genetics.
Yeah.
Because pops. Rally racing in the Philippines, and then we've talked about this before, and we'll get to that, why you have this car. Mm. But, the posters and the pictures on the wall in the garage when you were kids.
Right.
And then your older cousin, the Civic Coupe, and then you get to an age, and you get this GSR.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that why you went white? Because his coupe was white?
Yeah, primarily. I had to choose between the white or that green teal. And I was like, it's okay, but I like the white more.
All right. Yeah. So that's how you ended up with the body. Mm-hmm. And over the years, you modified it, but yet here we are in 2022.
Yeah.
And some of it people will recognize more from like an older style, like the paint with the pearl.
Right.
So like when did I know you guys, it's hard to capture it, but you can kind of see it right here. There's a nice, beautiful purple pearl in there. And when did you do that paint job?
In 01.
In 2001. Yeah, 21 years. You guys see it?
It's definitely held up.
Yeah,
A local shop in Redmond Millen Auto Body. They're the ones that did all the body work. And so when the 96 came out, there was the Type R in Japan, right? So I said, it's slightly different, so I wanted to make it look like more of a Type R, so I ended up shaving the sides and just kind of putting the JDM front.
Yep.
And then everything else it was all white at first, and then I wanted to add more, so I sourced all the carbon parts from A&J Racing in Vancouver.
Yep.
So that's where I ended up with majority of the carbon that you see now.
You got it from A&J?
A&J, yeah.
So what made you select this company versus that company, and for the parts? Where did you draw the inspiration from?
It was the inspiration came from like those option magazines or Hyper Rev. It was mostly the magazines that I would get in like a Japanese store, like boutique stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because back then you go to the shelf and you could just get them.
Right.
And so that's what you read. And that's what made you pick the JDM companies for this.
Yep.
Okay. And did you ever make the mistake of selling it?
I did at one point.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
because I've made that mistake.
Yeah.
And I believe I remember you telling me, I just couldn't remember what year. So how did you get it back?
So, my uncle, he was having a midlife crisis.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, sell this to me. And I'm like, sure, make me an offer, right? And then he was throw out a number. I was like, cool, I can live with that. And then I also wanted to help with my brother pay for his schooling. So part of that money went to help him finish his school as well.
You sold this car at one point because A, your uncle wanted it, and B, to help your brother go to school?
So kind of, I felt good doing that route. So it's like...
This man sold his first car to help his brother go to school. I didn't even know that. That is...
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. Sorry. Okay. So, why, after all these years, did you end up... Well, you ended up getting it back. How long was it gone before you got it back?
10, 11 years.
So, what?
Yeah, he had it for that span, and then he only put like maybe another 20,000 miles in that time, and he'd just go out and enjoy it, and then he would tell me the cars he raced in this. And like, okay, I hope he didn't mess anything up. Or,
he didn't.
He didn't. He kept all the fluids all good and did all the maintenance. And
so 10, 11 years later, when the circle completes itself, it comes back around, and you get it back, it's just running and functioning just fine.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do anything.
Nope.
He didn't blow anything.
Nope.
He didn't have to do anything.
He didn't have to do anything. So when I sold it to him, I put everything back to white. So all the carbon was removed, and then I ended up holding all.
So all the JDM aero and carbon and stuff, you had it the whole time.
I had it the whole time, but I did at some point try to sell it, but I wasn't getting the money I wanted.
Yeah, so you kept it.
I said, screw it, I just hold on to it.
So in hindsight, when you look back now, do you think that you kind of somewhere in the back of your mind knew that you were going to get this back? And that's why you didn't sell it? Or did you think, I might get another Integra, maybe not this one?
Right. It was going to be some kind of JDM front Integra because I had the parts for it. So, but this came back and he was like, I'm ready to let it go. He says he wanted to buy it back. I go, how much? And it was less than what I sold it for. So,
yeah.
Sure.
All right. So you get the car back a few years ago. And you took off all the carbon and the aero and stuff for the JDM front end. Mm-hmm. But what about the power plant? Did you leave it like as it is right now?
No. I put everything back to stock, like the black cover, the intake arm, just everything. What you see of color and that's modded, it was all stock. It was 100% bone stock. So
you get it back and you're like, cool. You put your MSD ignition, you put your Type R valve cover, Jay's Racing, aka the whale. So you did. I mean, the thing about this car is it's like a throwback.
Yeah.
When you look at it, like MSD ignition and that intake. I mean, the JDM heads are gonna dig it, but it's still a throwback. Mm-hmm. And I mean, what made you not do a K or turbo it or supercharge it or ITB it or any of those things? If
it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
Hello.
enjoy what you got.
So yeah, you just were happy.
Yeah.
You were happy with it.
Did maintenance and stuff. I said if I ever do blow it or something, just I'll do a K or turbo or something that will force the hand to do something extra. But so far, just maintenance and maintenance.
And it's straight.
Yeah.
Car's great.
Yeah.
AC works.
AC, power steering, no leaks.
No leaks. Everything's hunky dory.
Yeah.
So the last time I was here, you were dipping on those purple Advent RGs, and I roll up and now you're on bronze CEs.
Yeah.
And I look over and I see TEs there. I see TEs over here.
Which is TE37.
It is TE37 there. I see HREs, MR5s, center lock BBSs.
Yeah.
And then I looked over here when you weren't looking and I was like, what's underneath here? And I'm like, Watanabes? Yeah. And I'm just like, okay. So my boy has been doing some collecting. And that's not all that I found. I'm going to show you guys what's over here. We're going to have to find a way over there. Because right there, we've got, well, really, let's, you know what? My bad. I want to show you guys what's in behind door number one, bro. So he has added to the collection some crispy, pretty damn solid condition M7. Okay. So, how many sets of T's do you have?
Just one.
No.
Two.
Exactly. 2 sets of TE37s.
One truck and then one.
A truck set, 6 lug.
Yeah.
And then the MR5s.
Complete. It is complete.
Center caps, lug caps. If his water heater ever goes out, the wheel collection can heat the water. You know what I'm saying? Okay, my guys. So let's not even talk about how I used to be collecting. We won't show the old school shoe collection. So my dude is on a mission right now, and then so you got the CEs as well, and then he's got these OG Advan racing touring competitions. I don't know if you guys know about those, but Axis Touring Cups were the version that people tended to know about here.
Mistaken them.
But that's what they are. And then we're going to get into this butte. And then he's got some other stuff hiding.
Yeah. Okay,
we got some stuff from Up Garage. We've got miscellaneous things going on over here. And then I walked over here earlier and I was like, whoa. And these center lock Honda Racing TEs are from which car? They're from this exact Takata GT, JGTC, Super GT 2006 series.
I think
NS.
Ran it 2 years. So.
How did you end up finding and getting that wheel from that exact real JGTC car?
There's a company here locally that he kind of sources those kind of fun collective items.
Yes.
From, I don't know, he just has them, and then I said I want it, and he said sure.
And you just made it happen.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about the old showing days with the big trophies in the corner.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna get into that. We got the official Honda shirts.
Yeah.
Yo, and then it's just miscellaneous cool guy collectibles. Yeah. Yo, there's a lot of gems in here, my dude. There's a lot of gems in here, and this dude won't bring them up unless I bring them up. So I'm making it uncomfortable for him right now.
Let's get uncomfortable.
Let's get uncomfortable.
That's the best way to grow.
There it is. We're getting some David Goggins in here. Okay, my friend. Now to the beloved ITR. Tell us about this, why you got it, when you got it, and what you plan to do with it.
Why I got it? Why I got it is because when I had this sitting in my parents' garage, out of all the posters I could have had in the automotive, this was the one that was hanging up on top on the wall at my parents' garage. This is the only.
You had that. You saw that poster growing up. Like, how long was that poster on the wall?
Since 2000.
That's when your dad put it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it wasn't always there. What made your dad decide to put that up in 2000?
I was talking about the Type R, and he shows up with the poster, like, hey, like, I got this ITR integral Type R poster. I go, cool, you can put it up on top of there.
Yeah.
And I always looked at it and marveled at it, and the color alone is just entertaining to look at. And
yeah.
It's cool. Actually, I have another. I don't have the actual poster that's hanging up, but this is the same one.
Oh, this is what he has hanging up.
Yeah.
So you
Just
guys,
like that.
Yes. So I've actually been to OG Pop's house and I've seen it in the garage. 22 years ago, he hung it up. Yeah. And then what year did you end up getting this one?
A little bit after this car, so 2018.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, was this a local PNW car?
It was. I was out. Actually, my friend was out in New York, and he saw the listing, and was like, "Hey, you should take a look at this."
Did he know you wanted an ITR?
No, I mean, I didn't know. I didn't even know I wanted an ITR until I kind of looked at it and then drove it around, and I'm like, "Sure, I'll take it, right?" But at the time, I was thinking I was gonna flip this.
Okay.
So.
Oh, was it that good of a deal?
It was that good.
So the person selling it had no idea.
Well, he thought he was selling it for a price that he didn't think it would sell for, but I was like, I'll buy it at that price.
I see.
So I bought it, and I was getting ready to put it up on like auction, like bring a trailer or something like that.
Yeah.
And then as we were completing the process of like maintaining, doing all the fluids and everything, I kind of got like a cold feet. I was like, you know what? I can't sell this. This is
something inside of you.
Yeah, it didn't sit right with me. Like,
okay.
It was like letting go of your baby or your child.
Okay.
Like. And then I was like, you know what? I think this is my unicorn, because the poster at my parents' house.
Yes.
And then that was it. It was pretty much straightforward after I put that connection with this car, the poster, and then not selling it.
And now you have your ITR and your GSR,
right,
which has a JDM ITR front end, and this is the more modified car. You have the aero, the seats, different color wheels, the brakes, and this one. Do you like it the way it is, or have you just been waiting to do things to it?
I get my modified itch with this car.
Yes.
And then this one is just my gentleman driver.
Just like that.
Just like
100. No, you're not gonna put any wheels on it. You're not gonna lower it.
Yeah, it's.
I love that.
100% stock.
I love that, man. And you know what though? Honestly, bro, at the condition you have it in, and because you have other cars to drive, and I'm not talking about just this one. He has other cars, and we're gonna talk about those other projects. Yeah. This is also like a money in the bank.
Yeah.
Who knows what you would be able to sell it for 5, 10, 20 years from now. So
I don't think I could afford it.
What do you mean?
Like, if I wanted to buy it now,
no,
this day and age?
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah. I mean, you could, bro, but it's not justified. The amount is not justified. Yeah. But what you may be able to sell this for, if you ever needed to, in some type of emergency situation, could be a lot, man. Yeah. In whatever amount of years. So I love the fact that you've kept it stock. I mean, I've driven it. I mean, I've driven it, and even though I'm a big dude, I've sat in those seats, yes, and I've driven both of these cars, and we've had fun cruises. Think Bigger Project, NAMSAYIN collabos, or just cruising when I'm up here. I've driven both of these, and it's you guys know. Those of you who've had ITRs, those of you guys who have driven them, you already know. Okay, my friend. So enough about that. We've seen these two, but there are other cars in the collection, right? Right. So what other projects do you have right now that you've amassed and you've added to the stable?
I got the 77 Celica liftback GT.
Okay.
Just lowered on what I put on there. Toyo Techno tuning, coilovers and springs.
Yeah.
And then I just went for the JDM theme because it had the fat safety bumpers, front and rear. So I went with the slim smiley bumpers. Mm-hmm. So everything's Japanese oriented. I always looked at their versions as opposed to our U.S. I don't know. We just don't get the cool looking stuff.
Right, right. So you've got that, and what else?
And then another one is the '71 Colt Galant, which is the Dodge Colt version that we got in the U.S.
Yeah.
But everything was pretty much all the same, Japan to U.S. It just the badging was different.
And that's what the Watanabes are for.
That's what the Watanabes are for. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just grabbed the Ruckus?
Yeah, I grabbed the Ruckus just because.
Just
why not? Yeah.
And then out front, you got a new car.
Which the Benz or?
Hey, you like that? He was like, I don't know which car you're talking about. You mean the Benz? I wasn't even talking about the Benz. I was talking about exactly. So what year is that new car?
The EK is a '96 DX Midori
green. Yeah. And out of the wheels that you have, there's more than a few sets in here that are 4x100. Yeah. So you got 4x114, 5x114, 4x100. And 6x139 joints, right?
Yeah.
So you just out here just killing the wheel game. My bad, dog. My bad.
And Mercedes 5x112.
5x112. And right now, what do you have on there? SSR Vienna dishes or something like that?
SSR, I don't remember.
One of those.
They're the Work Victor Ricks or something.
Something. Okay. See, he's got too many. You don't even remember the name of them.
I gotta look it up.
Okay. So what year is the Benz?
It's an '84.
And what trim level is that again?
It's the 380 SE, the short body.
Short body.
By 6 inches.
Original paint.
Original paint, yes.
Original interior.
Original interior.
Been in the family since what year?
85.
Been in the family since 85.
Mm-hmm.
And now you just low-key throw it in the rotation.
Yeah.
Well then, wait. What about you also have your 4Runner.
Yeah.
What year is your 4Runner?
91 Toyota 4Runner.
And what do you have on there right now, the wheels?
What do I have on there? Because I just put those on. It's brand new.
Yeah, because when I was here last, you had the other joints and then the Montero.
Ragunas. ZYZX. ZYZX?
Okay.
ZYZX, yeah.
So, I just caught something that's not even supposed to be part of this. Wow, dude. That's not even part of the BTS, and I just saw it. My bad, bro. Okay. So, the Ruckus, the Colt, the Benz, the Celica, the 4Runner, the ITR, the GSR.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting anything?
No. I got mom's car out there, but it's really hers.
But I
paid for it.
The other Benz.
The other Benz, yeah.
The other Benz. Are you done, or is there another? Oh, the EK. How are we just going to forget to mention the EK? Okay, so born and raised Pacific Northwest, right?
Yep.
And deep into the car culture, the import community, since, really, because of your father, but when you became old enough, you had been around your older cousins and friends, so the love and the roots are deep.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So what is it about the community and the culture of the people, the builds, this whole culture up here? What is it about that you think makes it so special?
I think it's just the region of it, because Seattle's kind of landlocked in a way. It's like we're kind of forced to be within each other.
Okay.
So it's like everyone can just have their own identity and then build on that.
You're talking about like with the way they do cars?
Yes, the way they do cars. Man, I don't know how to say it. Like it's kind of everything. Like we kind of get the whole spectrum for the whole community. You have the people who's kind of paved the way initially, and then you still have them around. Like they're still guiding other new, new people that are interested into this community of ours.
Like you mean like younger upcoming enthusiasts?
Younger upcoming enthusiasts. Yeah, we have a lot of mentors that people look up to, north, south, and then east of Seattle area. So you can go out around Seattle and you could find like someone that you look up to, and
from the quote unquote old days.
From the old days, right?
They're still out and about.
They're still out and about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and with you and your brother, right? Let's get into that creation of and the mission statement of NAMSAYIN. And so how did it come about? How did you and him decide to create this and create it and have it evolve into what it is today?
Right. So we have to go back to 2007. That's when we bought the domain name, and initially it was just a collection of friends that wanted to hang out with each other, and NAMSAYIN was kind of like a emphasis of something that we liked, that we thought was dope, or filthy. In our area we call it filthy, right?
Yeah.
So that was more of like food, cars, hanging out, parties, venues, events. And then from there, it kind of just, it was kind of all over the place when you think of that aspect of it. Then we're like, we need to start refining things. And then we started slowly cutting out, not necessarily cutting out, but being more focused within the cars. And that's why you see NAMSAYIN as it is today. It's because it's more focused on community and cars.
I think that the simplicity of that, community and cars, is why it's grown to be what it is and why the impact is so powerful within the region, because there's authenticity and then the simplicity of it. It's just about cars and community, or the community of the car people. But in the end, it's more about the people than it is the cars. And you can never go wrong with that.
Right.
So that's one reason why I think that I've always appreciated for the last like 5 years now that I've been aware, and I think that's probably one reason why we all became so close, because I do BTS vlogs with other people because I hear good things. Mm-hmm. They give good vibes, and I'm blessed to be able to make that happen in whatever part of the country they're in. But it's a bit different when I sat down with Walt and had him on the podcast, and now sitting down with you, because you guys are family to me, and so it's almost like as it's actually harder than it is easier. Yeah. Because we can end up going off on tangents and stuff. But I've been in this garage with you how many times? This is second home to me, and yet here we are talking about some things that we've only talked about in a different context. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you bringing the viewers, all of us, here behind the scenes. After working in the home space with the cars, the new collection of items for each of the different builds, and really giving people the opportunity to see not just what you have, but who you are. So, Al-Michael. All right, so I'm going to hit you with something, and I want you to just answer as organically as you can, okay? I didn't tell you about this, so just roll with me for a second. All right. If you had to give one piece of advice as a person of a certain age, of a certain status in society, experienced in X amount of cars and ownership and building and shows and meets and all that, right? Right. If you had to give one piece of advice to an upcoming car builder, automotive enthusiast, member of the community, what would it be and why?
One piece of advice would be follow your heart. Don't be afraid to make any mistakes. Just go out and do it, but at the same time, think about what you want as a whole. Think about what you want the end result to be, and take your time with things.
So gentle. Yeah. So deep. Okay, that sounded like we went in a whole different direction.
So tangent. Sexual.
Honestly, my friend, I appreciate it. Out of nowhere, just adding the section right here to, when we talk, it's easier for like these kind of like low-key gems to pop up, and I just put you on the spot right now, but you guys take the time to really follow the words that he just said. Those are actually quite meaningful and quite powerful. And thank you again for letting us here in the garage behind the scenes with Al-Michael Franco.
Thank you.
Of NAMSAYIN.
Mike.
Hey, I appreciate you, homie.